What's up YouTube, ODST General back again with some more Stranded Deep. Now, my last video was quite unpopular, but we're going to try this again and see how it goes. This time we're going to be doing things a little bit differently though. We're going to be doing, I think, what is it, 8 or 10 survival tricks for island survival here. And we're going to see how well this translates to the game. Now obviously we've got a bit of a base set up here, but let's see how it stacks up. Oh, what was that? Oh, you know, I've got food done cooking here. That's right, I remember hearing about that. So I guess that's smoked now. That's cool. Okay. Ah, we got food source right there. So, anyways, the first tip is to follow the rule of 3. Now what this means is that you need to think for at least 3 seconds before taking an action. 3 hours is the most that should establish how long it should take to establish a base. You should need water every 3 days and food every 3 weeks. Now this is a little bit different. Obviously constructing something like this might take you a little bit depending on your amount of skill with that. It could take, you know, anywhere from probably 20 minutes to hours, depending on your skill. Now, with this, all it takes for us is some lashing, you know, pressing the C button here, going to shelter, and going here. So, I mean, this is all pretty easy. We really don't have to worry about necessarily the rules of 3, with the exception of maybe wait and think for 3 seconds. Now, the other thing is that food and water are a necessity in here, but if you look, this is all recorded by our fancy survival watch here, and I don't necessarily think that those rules line up the same in the game that they do in real life, because you go through water needing pretty quick, and I really don't think you can last that long without water, not 3 days in here. But we'll do our best to try and follow that rule. So that's a pretty simple one to follow. Beware of the beach. So here's where I already failed. So, I mean, let's see how my current stuff holds up. The image of a raggedy castaway walking over golden sand isn't affecting one, but the reality may affect you in unpleasant ways. The beach will be the hottest, driest part of the island where your dehydration rate will be the fastest. Sandflies are unstoppable and their ferocious bites prone to infection. Tides and wave patterns will be an unknown, potentially dangerous quantity. The place to camp, say the experts, is in the moist, sheltered interior. So I failed pretty badly here. So what it's saying is we should have taken up base somewhere up here, probably under, you know, on top of one of these 2 hills, like here under these trees or something, where the trees already provide us some cover, you know, and tucked in with the rocks. Luckily, there's nothing that can harm us on the beach, but they are saying the beach is definitely hottest during the day, which, you know, if you've been to a beach yourself in real life, which I'd hope you have, you know how hot the sand can get, you know, in the middle of the day. Not to mention, you know, the tide. And if you look right here, I am up on a little bit of a raised part, but you can see that the sand's wet pretty close to where I set up my base. It's getting dark here, so we're going to use the shelter we already have before we follow the rest of these tips too much further. But we're going to have to get our base up off the sand and kind of deal with that in a way. I'm thinking we might need to strike out to a new island, though. We've used a lot of resources on this one here, and that's going to be an issue for us. But what we do need to do here is we need to go get our kindling out. And maybe, just maybe, we'll actually start a fire here. There it goes. You didn't worry there for a second. Oh, that's not right. Those still seagulls? I guess they are. The jungle is your larder. There are few places on Earth without edible vegetation, says John Lofty Wiseman, author of the best-selling essay. Oh no, I ran out of sticks. Shoot. Okay. We need to relight our fire. All of our wood burned up. Alright, so like I was saying here, the difficulty in knowing what vegetation will feed you from what might kill you, they suggest the foolproof process is take a healthy looking plant, extract a little bit of the juice and rub it on your upper underarm. If there is no irritation or rash, place a small amount of your lips, or on your lips, then in progressive stages in the corner of your mouth, on the tip of your tongue and under your tongue. If there is still no reaction, chew and swallow a small piece. Wait 5 hours, and if you are still alive, the plant's probably safe. Once again, the game does not really meet our expectations there. We can't eat any of the vegetation for the most part. We can eat coconuts and stuff, so we will try to stick to that vegetation first before going with the meat and stuff. I know I just grabbed some smoked meat off of here, but we'll definitely worry about getting this stuff up here first. And, you know, we'll try to wait 5 hours game time before we consume any more of whatever product we've chosen to eat. Now, as you've seen, we've already gone through a thing of water again. It's almost 8 o'clock. Like I said, this island gets dark pretty early on here. Alright, sorry for the pause there. I had to scroll down my screen some. Mastery over the beasts. So basically this goal will be that we need to harvest animals for food. Now this one should be a little bit easier. The biggest predator we have on here is a snake. You did see that boar. It looks like he managed to get himself unstuck. That boar will at least provide some food, you know, even though it's a smaller one. The real big predators we have to watch out for are sharks. Thankfully, because we've already played before, we do have a spear to kind of deal with the sharks with. I'm not sure how effective that will be, and they're going to be pretty dangerous, but that's going to be probably our best source of food, is actually getting it from sharks. So basically what this says is that, you know, just do your best to try and take out dangerous animals and use them as food. But obviously the safest route for us to go is to go with... Nope, more bats. Is to go with fruits and vegetables. So it's about 5:30 in the morning. It should be starting to get bright pretty soon. We want to wait until daylight. You know, that's something you don't want to do with island survivals. Work in the dark. But I think once we strike out from here, we are going to be out of this area for good. Yeah, it's already getting bright. So, finding tarps and stuff is probably going to be pretty difficult. But I don't have anything stored up and I can't break these down, unfortunately. So we may need to come back here, so we're just going to be pretty careful and try to strike out over there. I want to say this way over here. That's a pretty large island. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot on it. Alright, which one do we strike out to? Here's the question. I can't even see that one now that I've sat down in here. Let's go straight across. Now we need to look for any supplies as we go across here too. And I could have sworn, I know on one playthrough I've struck out already across the water, and I can't remember if this one I did that or not already, and I think I did. So while we're going, let's talk about the next tip. Tip number 7. According to Psychology Today, oh, there's some lag there. Oh, found a wreck. According to Psychology Today, Being marooned on a desert island is one of the most common fantasies of heterosexual men. To some extent, the allure depends upon the subsequent discovery of swarms of nubile native girls, but many men find the whole idea of being left to fend for themselves on a hostile island irresistibly compelling. As its core is the notion of man as the noble savage, freed from the constraints of civilization and domesticate. Oh wow, how did I butcher that so bad? Wow. Anyways, so basically it's just saying that, you know, as bad as it might seem, actually a lot of people want it, but that's really all it's saying, is that some people want to be marooned on an island. They're saying that it can be beneficial. Okay, so we gotta be careful here. But we've got some barrels which can be pretty useful for us. Let's go ahead and see what else we can find. Come up, get some air. Oh gosh, that's a shark. Oh gosh, he wants me dead. I could try to throw the spear at him, but I'd rather keep it. Okay, maybe I need to crouch down here. Gosh, I don't think the spear is gonna do the trick. Not without throwing it at him. He's getting farther away though. Oh no, he knows I'm here now and he wants a chunk of me. I need to get back to my raft if possible. Yeah, I can't hit him from up here. I can't do this safely. I have to actually get in there and tangle with him if I need to. Oh god. This is not an island survival tip, guys. This is something you avoid doing. And obviously we don't want to waste our spear trying to kill him when I'm pretty sure a single spear won't do the trick. Now if I had a few and I could just plug him up, you know, that'd be great. But I don't. Should have parked a raft closer. Yeah, he's hanging around. He's not gonna give us much peace. We might have to throw the spear and hope it's enough to at least chase him off. Especially if I want those barrels. Well, thankfully it did seem to scare him off. Let's get up here before something bad happens. Oh god! Oh god! He came back with a vengeance. Oh no! Oh, he flipped the raft. Oh. Oh, it's the same shark too. That gave me a freaking heart attack. Swimming around with that spear stuck in his head. He's just gonna hang back around. That spear only temporarily scared him off. Oh, crap. I thought he might have been gone longer. Can't afford to sit out here all day, though. He went off somewhere in that direction, but he could have gone either way at this point. I need to know where he is before, yeah, because if I had swam, he would have been right there. Crying out loud. Come on. I need to tell more island survival tips and you're not helping me. Find a friend. Well, he could be my friend. I don't know if he's going to want to be after I stuck a spear in his head, but, you know, that's the next tip, is finding a friend. In the movie Castaway, Tom Hanks' sole companion is an uncomplaining volleyball named Wilson, which in exchange for being endlessly conversed with, is booted around the beach and is eventually lost at sea. Robinson Crusoe had a parrot called Pole, a sociable creature that he teaches to talk. Such improvised relationships are vital, for the human mind goes rapidly off being without company. Scottish seaman Alexander Selkirk, that's an interesting last name, the real-life 18th century model for Crusoe, suffered terrible mental effects. Voices spoke to him in the howlings of the seas, and front and in the murmur of the woods behind, wrote biographer Thomas Wright. The shore was creatured by phantoms. So basically you start hearing voices and stuff without any sort of company. So I was reading, I was about to say I haven't seen him for a second, because I wasn't looking. He keeps swimming by the raft. He must know I need to go over there. Okay. He's a lot faster than me. Oh gosh. Okay, we're gonna have to make multiple trips. This isn't really working. Oh, no, it's not working at all. Okay, we're gonna have to figure out something here to bring these barrels with us. If possible, all three, but one's gonna be a challenge, so let's see if we can get even one. I didn't like that noise under the raft. That wasn't good. Adapt to your surroundings is tip number 9. Just making sure my... Oh, hey, there's bubbles there for some reason. That's interesting. With a shark there, though, we're not going to go explore. We're going to need something better to fight that shark. Not all desert islands are palm-fringed outside or outposts of paradise. While 300 calories a day is just about sufficient for the men of the island, they'll go nowhere on a frozen rock in the South Atlantic. In Norway, Bear Grylls demonstrated how to skin a dead seal, turn the hide into a wetsuit, and dive for fish in icy waters. Well, thankfully, we do have an outpost of paradise, so good for us. Yeah, minus the shark. But that shark is our friend now, so if we see a shark with a spear, he is our friend. We need a name for our friend, guys. So if anybody does decide to really watch this, or at least more people than watch the last one, let me know what you think we should name our shark friend here. We need a good name for him. He will be our friend. Because we will be going back to that boat to try and collect the rest of these barrels. For right now, though, we're going to need to set up a new base. So, I'm going to go ahead. I don't know why my guy's still trying to go here. We're just gonna go ahead and drag all of our stuff up onto land here. I left my raft in the water. That was probably a bad idea because if, you know, current or something swept it out, I would have been in trouble. Let's go ahead and drag this up on the land. I'm just gonna leave it right there. This is still moving. This is gonna have to come up with us. Now we don't know what kind of creatures are on this particular island here, so we do have to be wary of that. Just because our last island was cleared of all dangerous animals doesn't mean this one will be. Nope, 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 come back. It'd be nice if I could just like dig a hole for this stuff. So there's some tarps out here, so let's go ahead and run back, collect these. So, unfortunately, these survival tips weren't exactly what I thought they were going to be cracked up to be. We do have one last survival tip to go over, though. But first, let's go ahead and let's work on our shelter here. We're going to need some palm leaves, some sticks, and some lashing. So, thankfully, we can get most of that from a single source. And in fact, here, let's do this all at once. We've got some food up here. We're going to collect on this food. And we're going to just shimmy back down here. We're going to start chopping this tree down. I guess that probably wasn't really necessary climbing it up. The coconut would come down either way. Okay. Actually, you know, let's chop at the top here. If I can hit the top. Now, what we can do here is this tree's going to provide us both the leaves and the sticks for our shelter here. He's got to break it apart some. That was still a log. That really didn't help us. Alright, so we've got part of what we need. Still need to get this broken up some more. So there's one last tip, and that is to remain positive when you're stranded on a desert island. Like they said, you know, most modern castaways are rescued within about 12 hours of being stranded. However, if you're not so lucky, on the bright side, you don't have to go back to work and you get a free tan. So, you know, there's that. You know, so just do your best to stay positive. You know, make friends, do that, you know, even if that friend's a rocker or volleyball. Okay, so is that enough for our shelter there? Do we need the lashing still? Forgot to do that. There's our lashing, nice and easy, right? So where can we get? That'll work. Let's go ahead and cut down this tree too. Okay, so we need a source of water next. Do have some water I already took from the other one, but we're gonna need something new now. So we've actually got enough supplies to do a distiller, so let's actually go that route. What are we gonna need? We're gonna need a lot of lashing. Gonna need some sticks and a fire spit. So our first thing to do is build the actual campfire. Easy enough. Okay, so where do we want to build this? Let's go ahead, build it right here. So we're gonna need some rocks. As we're going around for our rocks, we're gonna need a lot of lashing. Let's go ahead and do this, and let's actually switch over to our knife. I'm out of water here. I need to drink something. Wasn't necessarily super filling, but you know, what are you gonna do? Okay. Well, those will be useful, as will this. Maybe I can get myself a better raft, you know, something a little bit more stable. That would be very ideal, actually. There we go, there's some rocks, finally. There's that one over here. Yeah, we lucked out here. Lots of scraps of metal from somewhere. Maybe it's from the Japanese reactor. They're all floating to this island. Okay, let's head back. Probably don't need this many rocks, but you never know when you're going to need stone tools. Some of our stuff's getting worn out. We need to make a bow and arrow. That's how we're going to take on sharks, as with bows and arrows, I think. That's going to be our best bet. So let's go ahead and build ourselves. Oh, we don't want the spit, not yet. We want the pit. Now we want the spit. So what do we need? We need lashing, which we've got enough supplies for that. We can do that. We can do one. We need more. Why didn't you guys tell me we needed more lashing? Okay, so now we've got enough for that. So our spit is all set to go as soon as I can find my fire again. I keep losing track of it. Not a good thing to lose track of, truly. So we've got all that. Now what do we need? We need a lot more lashing and sticks again. So pretty easy stuff to come by. Lashing is going to be a bit tedious just because we've got to go and chop up all these small plants, but that's alright. Is that a rock? What did I... Oh, that was my meat I just ate. Shoot. Probably needed that. I should have saved it. I could see where rocks and meat might get mistaken, though. Well, it's taken us more than 3 hours to get over this island and set up our base. It's getting dark out pretty quick here. Let's go ahead, take the kindling we already have, and we're going to light this fire. Come on, there we go. So let's get us some lashing here. We're going to need 5 things of lashing. We don't have enough supplies on us yet. Yeah, I haven't seen any wildlife yet, but could just be missing it. You never know. I mean, obviously we've got seagulls and stuff, and probably get bats. The other islands get bats. Oh, they've all shut up. It's also a bad idea to build in the dark. Oh, there's another baby boar. Probably means somewhere on this island there's a snake. That's my gut feeling, is there's gonna be another snake on this island. Yeah, I don't know. This isn't really working out. I was hoping that these facts would translate well into this video. I thought, oh, you know, there's island survival and, you know, there's building shelters and stuff in here. See, this is why we work in the light. And I was just hoping that I could translate those really well, and you really can't. You just can't translate that. We just need a fire spit and some sticks. So we're gonna want... Oh no, my axe is gone. It must have broke. I dropped it. Well, if I did drop it, I dropped it up here by the fire. That's where I was last using it. Yeah, I probably ended up actually losing it. Well, let's go ahead. Let's sleep. So we can pick up in the daylight. About 23 in the morning. Should be getting bright any minute. I'm gonna need another axe, though, that's for sure. So wood stick and stone tools. Stone tools should be relatively easy. The wood stick's gonna be a little bit tougher. Get to go try to find some rocks in the dark here. Hopefully some should have washed up onto the beach, but you never know. There's daylight. Got some driftwood here. I really need rocks, though. That's the big thing. I can get the sticks if I have rocks. Oh, here's some rocks. Oh, perfect. Okay. They're all having a meeting last night, so they're all gathered up into one spot. Stone tool, so craft me a couple of these guys. Shelter's nice, but I don't need another one. Okay, so now we've got our supplies again. Let's head back on up to our shelter. Looks like our fire went out by itself. So we'll need to restock our wood in there. Let's see here. now that I've got this coconut, actually. Well, first thing I need to do is go in here, drop that. Okay, so we've got that, but what we need to do is actually break it up a little bit further. Because now we can eat it. I didn't mean to drop you. Although I don't know what happened to the other one. Oh, it got launched over here. Go ahead. Let's drop you. And we're going to chop down this tree, and that should be enough for us to make our source of water. And I believe, well, no, with that being over the spit, I just realized I don't have buckets. Do I need buckets for that? That's going to be an issue, isn't it? Doesn't say I need buckets, so we should be good. Does I need more sticks and lashing? Okay, just about there. Got a couple lashings. Seagulls are getting tired of you. So I need 2 more things of lashing. So I need another 3 of these. Alright. We've got an official water distiller now. I do think I need another bucket for it, though. So one of those collects rainwater and the other one collects seawater. Oh. Alright, well, we've got our seawater. It's definitely seawater after our taste test, so let's go ahead and take this back. Gee, all the color's gone out of the world. Is that a problem? Alright, we do need... this. I wonder if a regular spit would have worked for that seawater. Okay, so while that's going through, I need to make a bow, which means we're going to need more lashing and more stone tools. So we're going to want a few bows. I just realized how perfect those are stacked. Okay. Okay, so now we need some more sticks. Which we've got plenty of trees for. Still, I like to go for the smaller trees. Let's see if we can make something of this tree here. Oh. I don't want to climb that. Mighty big arrows. Holy, okay, they're not that big. They're just, you know, floating. Wonder if we can recollect these. Okay, so this is probably gonna take a few arrows. Come back here with those arrows. Dang, I missed. Bad target to try and hit. At least not with something that requires accuracy. Oh, come on, you took another one? This is just getting ridiculous. Yeah, he's pretty much on a handle. There we go. Alright, we've got some food. At any rate, guys, let's end the video here. Like I said, it didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped the video would, but let me know what you thought. And let me know if you guys want to hear any more really poorly construed survival tips, and we can go from there. Alright, take it easy, and I'll see you guys around.